my name is Damali Ssali and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today I host Sandra Awilli, who is the founder of ShareCARD, among other things. And she's going to tell us all about it. Sandra, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Damali. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you. I'm looking forward to exploring what I've been up to.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell me about ShareCARD.
ShareCARD, as we define it right now, is a digital platform that organizations that are serving communities can use to be able to have visibility on how their projects are being implemented remotely on ground. So ideally what we say is with ShareCARD, a project manager or an M&E expert or an organization can be able to gather, aggregate, and analyze program implementation data up to the last mile, focusing on the final beneficiary on a single dashboard.
In one dashboard?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, how does it work? For example, if the Ideation Corner is doing a project in Arua, right? I'm not there physically. We're doing the work and I want to see what we're doing from on a dashboard. How do I go about it?
So
using ShareCARD.
As ShareCARD.
Yes.
So first I would imagine that if you're working in Arua, you would have a target of people that you would want to impact.
Yes.
So you as Damali being, say, maybe the project lead, you would have a dashboard where you get to plan out all of the activities that you would expect your team to do while in Arua.
Okay.
So then you would say this is Project Arua, and inside Project Arua you build forms. Say maybe you would require certain information to be gathered about the final beneficiary that you would be targeting.
Yeah.
So you put in your questions, there's so many options, multiple choice, check boxes, short answers, dates, pictures that you would expect to have.
ShareCARD allows them to
Exactly.
actually upload pictures?
Yes. You can upload pictures.
That's interesting.
So you build these forms that would essentially be a survey or an assessment of the final beneficiary.
Okay.
And then you build, once these forms are built, I would expect that you would want to distribute some packages, some benefits that the beneficiaries would have. So then you document these beneficiaries. You build a package and then you put the details of the package and then you say there may be 10,000 packages that you want to distribute as Ideation Corner. Besides the packages, even before you hand out the packages, you'd want to train people on how to benefit and use these packages so it's more impactful. So then you create trainings and training groups or topics that you'd expect the beneficiaries to attend for them to qualify for these packages.
Okay.
And then you put all of these in a workflow. So you control how your people work in the field, remotely, like you're sitting in
But
your
you
office.
don't train them on financial training when you haven't trained them on ABC.
No. You make sure that everything is standardized and people are not doing stuff to tick a box or ad hoc. There is actually a flow, how things work. So you say maybe Sarah is one of your agents that's going to Arua to work with beneficiaries, and Sarah would ideally be an agent, right? So then Sarah's workflow would look like this. After the registration of the beneficiary, which is profiling the beneficiary, I need you to do an assessment. Does this beneficiary qualify to be part of our program? Actually, a cool thing on qualification is you can have scores.
Okay.
Yes, you can add scores to the question, meaning if someone answers a question a certain way,
no.
they either earn points or lose points. And the cool thing is the field agents cannot be biased because they do not know.
They don't know
They don't know.
they don't know that there is a score.
They don't know that
there
there is a score, and they don't know which question takes or adds points. So that removes the bias.
The bias,
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Sarah's workflow would be, after registration, do an assessment. If the beneficiary fails this assessment, archive their information, put them on the side, so that you're not like dealing with so many people
When they actually don't qualify.
when they don't qualify. And the thing is, immediately someone does not qualify to be part of the beneficiaries, they will know because you hit submit and it's like, this person does not qualify. Or this person qualifies, move them to the next stage.
Yeah.
And then, attach the most important thing we did is you profile your beneficiaries, the one that have qualified to go through the program, they have something that IDs them, like identifies them as being part of your beneficiaries that are moving on with the program. So Sarah's workflow would dictate how she works, step by step by step, until the program finalizes.
So she doesn't go to the field and does whatever she feels like, and magically there's nothing. She was there for a month and there's nothing.
Or she was there for a day and she says she was there for a month. You would know.
Because this data is all in real time.
Everything.
She's registering people in real time. You know, everything is real time. And on my dashboard here, right here, I can see it.
Yes.
Even though I'm not physically there.
Everything that is submitted through the agent app is received on your dashboard in real time. So you would know that today, Sarah went and visited John, who is in a farm somewhere, and delivered these farm packages that are from Ideation Corner. And John confirmed that he received the packages because you scan John's ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to have in with John. Or I can call John because I have their details.
You can't call John. You have to meet John physically.
No, the agent, but if I, who is with the dashboard, I can call John to confirm.
Yeah, you can call John to confirm, but already there is confirmation through scanning.
Okay.
That saves you the resources that you would have to do to trace where the packages went.
And I feel like I can easily map them. Like the packages are now here. Now the packages are being distributed. 50% of them are still sitting in the store.
Yes.
And these
you would know, like, because we do calculate data based on completion rate of tasks.
Okay.
Once a task has been completed, it gets ticked off the list of the so many tasks that need to be completed. Once a resource has been removed from the storage, you would know, say, out of the 10,000 packages that were supposed to be distributed to 5,000 people, 50% or 20% has already been shipped out.
Okay.
So you know.
And I know that it's shipped out within these 2 weeks or 1 day. Or
You get a daily minute by minute report on what's happening.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of are you working with any development partners or people who do these kind of projects, for example?
So we are on the early stages of, we recently just, pushed out an MVP and it's in the market, and we're present in Kasese right now working with a client whose focus is being able to have as many people planting avocados as possible, because they're building a factory to extract virgin avocado oil, the best quality that they can get. So one of the problems that they did face the last 2 years, they lost a lot of time because not being able to receive information in real time from the agronomists on how the avocado plants are faring, and they lost so many seedlings because no one was giving them information in real time. The farmers didn't get support when they needed to get support, and it was hard to tell. Like, you would be calling your agronomists in the field, what's happening, and then 3 months down the road, they tell us, 50% of our farmers have dead seedlings. That's money lost, time lost, and we kind of saw how painful it is for someone who is trying to cultivate and impact and improve the lives of people. Losing resources is the worst thing that can ever happen to your project,
because you haven't helped the people either.
You have not helped the people.
You have no inputs for your factory. You're not exporting. It's just lost.
And you keep losing.
Because we didn't have the information in real time.
Yeah, you keep bleeding money. And I think for me, going into this space of, optimizing M&E and being able to learn faster was just the thought process of, we have all of these people coming into the country trying to get people out of poverty, but they're bleeding money. Because they don't have the right infrastructure to be able to tell when they're making an impact and when they're not.
In real time.
I think time is very important.
That's why I like your tool, because we do monitoring and evaluation, but it's really not monitoring. You're monitoring after the fact. You're finding other things after the fact, and then we're obsessed with these lessons learned. Like, there's some lessons I didn't need to learn. There's some things that I could have just corrected if I had the information in real time. Yes.
And I think for me, just going into this space was also from personal experiences that I had as a vulnerable person seeking help, needing to be supported. And you find that there are all of these gatekeepers to the gatekeepers.
They're actually just keeping you out.
Yeah, they are keeping you out.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people who come up with these brilliant ideas to, help vulnerable people, they have all of the best intentions in mind.
Yeah.
The problem comes when you're working with the wrong people or people who don't share your vision.
Yes.
And
you can never implement your vision, you see.
You can never.
You have to work with people to implement.
Exactly.
But then you're not getting the right information. Then you find out at the end of maybe 12 months that, hold up, we wasted the money, we didn't help anyone because of this small piece of information I didn't get.
Yeah.
And yet if I got it in real time, I could have, fired the gatekeeper. And it should.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also not just looking at firing people. I'm just looking at giving them the right tools.
I've fired the people. Like, you're an agronomist attached to these 10,000 farmers in this place in Kasese. And you didn't pick up the right information to tell me so that their seedling doesn't die. Because maybe we just needed to spray it because of a pest that's coming and I have the pesticide. But you didn't share that info. Why would I not fire you? You've wasted my time. The farmers haven't benefited. Why would they not be fired?
Yeah, I mean, probably you have every right to fire. I would fire them too because it's frustrating being in that space. I remember working with a project and I was the country lead. I'm not going to mention which project it is, but very, very quickly I realized that there was a big gap between the vision we had for the people we're serving and the needs of the people. And it was very difficult to
But it was, you knew this early on.
I knew this early on, and
because when you're conceptualizing, you can't figure out everything.
Yeah, when you're conceptualizing, you can't.
You make assumptions. So you figure this out early enough.
Yeah, and it was also a bit difficult to understand exactly what was going, because I came into the project midway, like a year after it had already started. But very quickly, I caught on to that big issue. And when I went on to dig where the problem started from, I realized it started from the beginning. And at some point, it was a bit late to now start firefighting.
Going back.
And
sometimes people don't want to know.
That's also what I realized.
Like I did, because there's also sometimes a conflict. I wrote this entire concept. I sold it. I've gotten the money to do it. And now some information is coming through that actually your entire principles are crap that you used to do this concept. And I'm the same person who is supposed to change them or accept that I was wrong. So it's a conflict.
But it also comes down to leadership. At the end of the day, you as a leader, are you willing to take the L
and accept that, you know what, I messed up, can I pivot it?
Exactly.
And if you know early enough, now like if you're using ShareCARD and you know this info early enough, because early enough I can still pivot. I still haven't implemented the entire thing. The money is still there. We still have time to go.
Yeah.
So you could change.
I mean, what I usually tell myself is there's always room for error, and it's really up to you to say, yes, we were wrong, but there is an opportunity to still, achieve what we set out to do from the very beginning. And all we need to do right now is, have better checks and balances in place, like, change something that is not working. Maybe right now we're working with Excel, and I've realized that I have 10 people on my team. That's 10 Excel sheets to keep track of. That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
So
and prone to human error.
Prone to human error, And human error is actually a huge thing that people don't take seriously, because your calculations and your data could put you, like, you have a target of X, and because you don't have the right data or your data is corrupted, it can usually just change the trajectory of where you need to be completely. And you find that instead of hitting target X, you're hitting target V, which is way off. way off.
Yes, but then also I found that sometimes especially in this space of M&E, sometimes you may send someone to the field to collect data on the beneficiaries, and I usually tend to focus on the beneficiary because it's the whole point of we're doing this work. collect data on the beneficiary, and they can actually forge the data or lie, or like they do all these impact studies after the fact, after the project has ended and everything, and then they go to do an impact study, and then we're like, go check on these 20 or 50 beneficiaries, but the person you've sent to check on these 20 beneficiaries could lie. Because it's based on what they're inputting.
Damali, let me tell you something. Human beings we are prone to deception. Is part of us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you working with people who are corrupted and prefer deception to being honest, there is so much that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And so, having worked with projects before and been in a space where I have seen people lie to get funding, lie for, because at the end of the day, I really don't care about your vision.
Yeah.
This is where, why so many things have not changed the last decades since we're
solving the same problem.
We're solving the same problems.
Same exact problem.
Yeah, because you realize that,
Yeah.
millions of dollars are going to go into solving the poverty issue. But the people working on this issue have no principles.
Yeah.
They do not care about the last beneficiary and how staying in poverty affects them.
Yeah.
Probably they've never experienced the problem
Most
before.
times they never have,
Yeah.
by the way. So many project people have never experienced the problem that they're trying to
So
solve.
they can't
Ever.
relate.
Never. There are very few who have.
They really can't relate. And it's even worse when you're sent out to do a job and you do not get in contact with the person whose life you're supposed to change.
Yeah.
Nothing works if that is the case. And that's why I think while building ShareCARD, I wanted to ensure that the person working on the problem comes into contact with the beneficiary.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you get to see...
the person.
If you don't solve this problem, you get to see who is going to be affected.
Yeah.
You get to look into their eyes
and see them
and lie to them if possible, or have some compassion, because compassion is a big factor why people want to solve the things they want to solve. And people come up with all sorts of strategies to uplift others.
Yes.
Compassion is a big element of that. And the only way your compassion can come to life is when you're looking into the eyes of the person you're supposed to help.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this because, again, I'm sitting in the shoes of saying, fine, I get to see the dashboard. They are speaking to, I've sent someone out there to go speak to the beneficiary to collect the data that I want them to collect. Is it possible also on top of the picture that I can get like a visual, like, the beneficiary is Moses. They've gone to check impact. Did he benefit from this project that we did in Arua? And then instead of this monitoring person that I've sent to write to me, yes, I met Moses, and he says that this is what changed. Can we get a visual of Moses saying, a quick video, like 1 minute, Moses, you're on camera, just say it.
So that is where we're heading.
Okay.
So right now you're able to take a picture of Moses and share a picture of Moses plus the things Moses said to you in writing in the submission that you will have. Of course, the next place to go is, can you take a video of Moses or have an audio recording of Moses saying that, the thing that, you were able to help him with, or the thing that he needs to get out of the situation he is in right now.
Yes.
Which is key.
Yeah, and that's really nice also for the baselines. Huh?
Exactly.
They will always use these baselines so that you can prove the concept or get it approved.
Yeah.
Imagine if these people were like, this is Moses, we think this is your challenge. What do you think is your problem? And then Moses is able to tell us the actual problem. That's when you mentioned how sometimes we've been solving the wrong problem.
True.
We did talk to Moses.
True. The thing is, at the end of the day, you look at yourself, and these brilliant ideas are discussed in boardrooms.
Yes,
and
by people who've never faced that particular challenge.
One thing that I did when I was doing this, when I was building ShareCARD, initially it was pad share. That was the focus project. And pad share the goal was to, under 5 minutes, we should be able to validate that a girl is in need of menstrual hygiene necessities we know where she is and we can get her that support under 5 minutes.
Under 5 minutes.
We're not wasting her time bringing her into large mobilization rallies and then talking to her, you know, making her waste a whole day that she could have been productive, earning a living, to just get 2 packs of pads.
She just needs the pads.
She just needs the pads.
Your conference,
to go ahead and go back to class and continue learning. Yeah. That's all she needs. Yeah. But we are, you know, I think the most indecent thing that I feel people who come out to want to solve problems of women is the fact that they do not consider their time.
The women's time.
Yeah. And how valuable it is that this woman goes back to doing the activity that she was doing before to improve her life.
Yeah.
Time is everything.
It is, actually.
We're talking about being able to have real-time information to be able to know when a solution is not working or when it is working.
Yeah.
If I waste a day and I don't change how my solution is working, you know, I may not be able to meet the timelines or reach the person that I need to reach on time, which means they could die.
True.
They could drop out of school. Yeah. They could end up being a victim of, you know, early marriage. They could be trafficked. They could end up in the hospital. And, you know,
just because of that one day.
Exactly. Yeah. And at that point, solving the problem becomes expensive.
Yeah. It's a more complex problem.
It's a more complex problem. Yes. So if I am to consider, say I'm working with a child from a poor family, a girl from a poor family who is in school but is not able to attend school regularly because of menstruation. And I am not able to reach this girl on time, or I pull her out of class at a critical point in her life.
To attend this conference.
Where
I'm telling her how she needs menstruation.
She's missing lessons.
And if I could just give her the pads.
Just give her the pad, tell her how to use it, let her go back to class. And this is why it's very important to decentralize support centers for people who are vulnerable. Make it accessible, go into their communities and set up this infrastructure where they could walk in and walk out.
And they come to you at their convenience, so you don't...
At their convenience, Convenience is very key when trying to, you know, sell people to the idea that you care about what they're going through. Make it convenient for them to access you.
So there was a time we were doing a project where we wanted to sensitize. It's always a sensitization, by the way. We should stop doing those sensitizations. And we're sensitizing the people who are in the problem. They know the problem, but we're sensitizing them about the problem. So anyway, we're sensitizing women who are women traders who we're trying to tell them how they should really formalize. They don't need to use pioneer routes, and these informal settings in their markets. So we're like, okay, we'll do a 2-day sensitization. We'll call them into this this place where they will meet, this workshop area.
Taking them away from their business.
Now, of course, we haven't been there, so we haven't been in a market. We can't, again, you not being understanding the problem because you've never experienced it. So we are conceptualizing it in that we'll call them 2-day workshop. Will facilitate them. They'll be there. So we're like, but they'll lose money. So no, we'll pay them for the money. So we've worked it all out. They were not losing money because we're like, no, their time should be valuable. Maybe they would have made money on a stall, but we keep them in this place for 2 days. We'll pay them for that money they could have lost on their stall. So we thought we really
figured it out.
Yeah. So we go and then we start talking to some of them about this concept. They are leaders. So we tell them, this is what we're planning to do. It will be helpful. We're sensitizing you. So their leaders ask us that, yes, great that you're giving them money to come here, but have you thought about their kids? I'm like, what about their kids? So they come with their kids to the store. Where are their kids going to be in these 2 days? We hadn't thought about that. Told us they will not come because they will not leave their kids. And you haven't put any facility here for their kids. Then they ask us the content of the sensitization. So like, we're going to tell them this, and they know this, and that. Why are you spending 2 days to tell them this, and that? So again, like, but we had done this whole shebang. We had a whole activity. It was done. Thing was approved.
Budgeted for.
Approved. But then now, I wish now if we had like ShareCARD, we could have asked them. We could have asked them, and they could have given us this information when we're sitting in our Kampala office. We could have used this tool through one of their leaders to ask them.
Yeah. And how sure are you that, in the last, maybe say 2 years of them being with this problem, no one has spoke to them about that problem before.
And it was so funny when the leaders asked us, okay, this is the content of what you're telling them. It's like, they know, we all know. Why are you spending 2 days to tell us a thing we know? Like, do you not know that we know that, yes, I can export, like I'm at the border. I know I can export. I know that. Why are you spending 2 days of my time?
I'm sorry, excuse my language, but I'm not trying to, look down on the people who try the hardest, but this is what I heard people call it. It's called corporate kamanyiro.
Yes. And I'm really, honestly, nowadays, I do not like, every time I see an activity that says sensitization workshop, I question it to the T. And it was because of that learning. Like, they don't need to be sensitized. They know their problems. And we always assume they don't know.
Yeah. There's also I think on that same bracket that you're in, there is also, I think, something we realized while building ShareCARD is collaborations don't work the way they're supposed to. Say you and your project, you entered an implementation collaboration with another entity or two other entities.
Yeah.
They're thinking the same way. They're going to go into this same space
to solve this one problem.
Yes. Reaching the same person. So, you're speaking to the same person three times about the same thing problem. With the same content.
Oh.
Imagine how frustrating
That's so
that
annoying
is.
for them, if I'm that person.
Yeah. Imagine how frustrating.
But then we're always trying to do, in this development, we're always trying to, we're so proud of the fact that we are collaborating.
Yes. We went out there.
As a thing, as an achievement.
Yeah, we went out there, we took pictures, we feel so proud.
And then this picture thing. Sometimes we're more obsessed about the picture than we are. So
if there's something that I know it is valuable to show proof that you went and did a thing, but at what expense?
You could have done a whole workshop just to have proof.
Africa became the poster child of poverty because when people could just do anything, they come take pictures of poor children looking dusty and they walk out. Yeah. And they win awards for these things.
There's this famous video of the fly. The poor African child and this one fly that is trained to stay there. There's a fly that's an actor that is paid, or someone owns the fly, that is paid to stay on the nose of the poor African child. Anyway.
that just begs me to ask the question, is the support dignified? I mean, recently we've gone into the conversation of dignified work and dignified employment. Like, does the thing that you're doing
dignify the beneficiary
or preserve the dignity
of the beneficiary?
Yeah.
It's a good question, actually. Most time it doesn't.
It's important to you. It's important to you for the proof and the being able to account for the money that sometimes you wasted. But
the workshop that wasn't necessary. Yes.
But does it dignify the person that you're trying to support? I mean, also that brings me back to the conversation of compassion. Are you preserving the human that is right before you, who is in need of support? Are you
need the support, but do you need to show all of them?
Because the thing is, when people fall into poverty, it strips them away of so many parts of themselves that they don't see themselves as deserving of privacy, dignity, and just being seen as a person who is whole.
So we don't need to perpetuate that. As you're trying to.
We perpetuate that every single day.
Yes, we do. Yeah, in the development work. Okay. So Sandra, very interesting conversation. Very happy about ShareCARD. I am in the development space, but we do have just 1 minute to go. Is there anything you'd like to highlight? Anything you want to tell our viewers?
Something that I'd want to highlight is, one, I would want to call upon, people who are in the space of wanting to support and improve the lives of Ugandans to, just work with us on this. Because we are quite a long way from solving the problem, but at least we have an idea because looking at it from the perspective of someone who's been vulnerable before, someone who's been poor, who's grown up in the slums and struggled to get support and been dehumanized with the process of finding support, I think I have a good understanding of what I would want to have in place for me to appreciate and be impacted by the support that is out there. So that's why I built ShareCARD. I built ShareCARD to, you know, bring back dignity in support, to give a face and a voice and, you know, to the last mile. But also, you know, time is key when, you know, supporting people, when having an idea of what we'd want their lives to be like. But also at the end of the day, I want to make it possible for you as a project manager to ask the right questions.
At the right time.
At the right time, and know when this person is being treated the right way. So definitely reach out to us. We are in a phase where we are accepting applications for demos. We can come to your office, do a demo for you, work with your team, train them, and also give them important insights into how they can expand impact and be successful at achieving the purpose for the organizations that you have created. So we are out in the market and we are ready.
Okay. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, there you had it. If you're anywhere near the development space, please do check out ShareCARD and Sandra with the details that we provided. Thank you.